Lauren Price.
Welcome to Grown Men Talk. Let me just say something. This is our first episode. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I want to thank the team for making it happen. So thanks. Topic today is what again, Noran?
Topic today is how to deal with a breakup or a divorce. So let's give them a quick intro. Grown Men Talk is simply just two men sitting down having a conversation. Various topics, both related to relationship, politics, any topic we want to cover, but two grown men sitting down talking about it. We'll give our opinions, our perspectives, and we're always welcome to people who are giving their opinions on the live. Please feel free to type your comments and we'll try to address them as best we can. But it's just two guys talking.
Pretty much. So let me start by asking, have you ever been through a breakup or a divorce?
I'm divorced currently, been divorced for quite a few years. And I got to the point where I think I was okay with saying this out loud. It was a good thing. Not because of the person, I don't think with the person, wonderful person. But it forced me to look at life, relationships, and myself with non-rose colored glasses. It was the roughest thing that had happened to me since. And honestly, it forced me to look at things in a more realistic, practical, and pragmatic way.
In the not just the divorce, but overall, because I asked you the same question that we asked the patrons or the people on the streets. Did you ever have somebody do something to get back at you, or have you ever done anything to get back at someone?
No, I've never. That's a little petty. I'm not. That's not.
And nobody has ever done anything to get back at you.
To the best of my knowledge, no. I think I'm still
lucky
on.
You.
Honestly, I'm still on amicable terms with everyone who I've ever been in a relationship with.
Lucky you.
No, it's true. I'll knock on wood. I've had a drama-free relationship life.
I mean, even while you were going through the divorce, you were still. Well, no, I mean,
still amicable.
Well, it's different for you, I think, because you have a child together, and so you guys kind of had to be amicable in the best interest of the child. That's what it should be.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. Yeah, it should be that. And I think both of us made a concerted effort to ensure civility. We're more than civil. We're still good.
Right.
There was no plate throwing. There was no, I don't want to bother around my kid, which I've heard people have happen. But no, I will say I was actually very lucky. We respectful, amicable families still got along. It didn't work out, but we were still, as I like to say, we weren't a union. We're not a union, but we're a unit when it comes to her.
Right.
To the child. So I was lucky. I didn't have any no drama stuff.
Well, kudos to you. For me, have I ever been through a breakup?
Uh-huh.
I have. Been through a few breakups. Currently going through a divorce. Have I ever done anything to get back at someone? In my adult life, which I call that like probably my adult life, I think started at like 24.
Okay, fine.
Before that, I was still immature. I was still doing stupid things. Before that, yeah, I used to do the tit for tat and all of that. Since then, I don't think I have purposely done anything just to get back at someone. I do think though that I have been guilty of reacting to things in the sense that something might happen or things, and for me now is more of an accumulation of things might happen, and then I get to the point where I can't hold this no more, and I will react. And I try my best not to do it now, because a lot of the time it's like you'll have somebody poking you. Like if you're in class and somebody behind you is constantly poking, and they might get up and be like, yo, what you poke me for? And then you get reprimanded because the teacher is like, yo, you're the one that she saw or whatever, but nobody sees that someone was constantly poking. And so when you react like that, everybody's like, oh, the bad guy. You must be bitter.
But let me ask you this. Is it possible that in your reaction, it could be classified as doing something to get back at them? Meaning, if you blow up publicly, isn't that the same thing as you doing something to get back at them?
You know, so to be honest, because with me, me blowing up in a public manner or addressing things in a public manner is kind of like, most of the time is is certain things. You're not we just do anything to get back at me. Like one of my biggest things is if you lie to me.
Lie. Okay.
If you tell me if like no, not lie to me, lie on me is what I
Or
should
like
say.
on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're telling me that I'm doing something or I did something that I never do, then that bothers me. And most of the time, I feel like at that point, like I have to say something or I have to correct it or I have to address it. Um, for the most part, right now, I don't have that in me. I think I've gotten over that stage where I feel like I owe anybody an
Mm.
apology or an explanation or anything at all. For now, um, I'm making a more conscious effort, whereas my life is more about peace.
Hmm.
If it not bring me peace, I'm not at
Run,
peace
move,
with it,
move away from it.
then I just move away from it. And it's crazy because like in a breakup, the thing about it is you'll have people in the circle, your friends, their friends, all of that, and they choose sides. And also the people that I have as my people and the people that the other person have as their people. It makes a big difference what it is that
Caused everything.
caused everything and
Hmm.
what it is that they're doing, because a lot of the times you have you over there saying this person over there saying this, and so for enough time it causes a breakdown. And a lot of the times the people that choose to involve themselves, they're actually not doing anything conducive to the situation at hand,
They're
or
just choosing sides.
them just choosing
But
sides.
but
And they bring you, I feel like people love the drama.
well, I'm glad you said that because I was gonna segue into it. Some of the clips we got, people were saying, "Oh, get over a breakup by getting with somebody else."
um
Sometimes I think some people like to hold on to the breakup and they love to be over it, but they're okay not being over it because with the breakup, depending on what side they're on, they get the sympathy, they get the empathy, and they get the attention. Oh, you want to break up? I can't believe it. Yeah, I get to tell the story. I get to relive all those things that you had a problem with that you may not have shared during the relationship, but now it's just verbal diarrhea because now somebody is listening to it. So you have to ask yourself if you want to get over a breakup. I believe there's a whole slew of things you need to ask yourself, realize before you even consider looking at somebody
yeah,
else.
because there is a process, and this is something that I had to learn through therapy. Like there is a whole process in dealing with it.
Who
And
get a drink every time you say therapy? Every time.
and
Just click every time you say therapy.
oh, but
Yes, I'll
so
take one.
it's like I learned a lot of it through therapy, and my therapist used to always say, just trust the process, trust the process. And to be honest, I used to be like, yo, fuck the process, because this process now work quick enough. It not this, it not that. But then going about it my way, it wasn't working either, because initially what I would do is the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else.
Distraction business.
Deal with nowadays with the situation when I'm going through that, I don't even want nobody in my space. I don't want nobody around me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I would more go out and drink. But then when I go home, the problem is still there.
Probably never went anywhere.
It never go nowhere.
Yeah.
But get a little calm for the moment, listening to music and drinking or whatever. But then I go home and it's back to the same situation. So literally, I just changed my environment. I flew out, and just take the time for really dig into therapy and to just process everything. Yo, we're going to drink all night. We're going to be drunk. You get
But
me?
a problem I see some people having, they may not admit it, it's our own natural impatience. We want to get over it now. I broke up with this person. I want to get over it now.
Why are we not seeing the live here?
That's our problem.
Let me ask. Why are we not seeing the live? Is people on the live? So for some, can you guys figure this out while we do this? Not the YouTube live, on the Instagram.
Well,
Yeah, but we can't see. We're not. Somebody figure this out for a second,
there we go.
cause come on, Sonia, Sonia,
Let's go.
Sonia.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So
Let's go.
so listen, man. This is a part of it. It's our first show. We're getting.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, if
All
I
right.
didn't do this,
Woo.
Sonia would have named me out right now.
Oh yeah, right now, right now.
Yes,
Director lady.
But
I did not do this. You
listen.
Yabba 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 yabba.
All I did was press the button.
Listen up.
And you told me to press the button. All I did was press the
So
button.
we're
on the live now.
Thank you.
So
What we're saying now, yeah. Impatience. People's
yeah,
impatient.
people just
You want to get over it now.
right.
That's
And
not how it works.
to be honest, I definitely was one of those persons where I like, yo, I just want this to be over with. I can't bother. I can't. It's just, it was too much emotions for me to deal because, and in a way, it kind of reminded me that I was human.
And you never
Because
wanted to admit to
before I used to operate like I'm
Sure.
superhuman.
Yeah, man.
Like
That-
no,
no
bother
affect
me.
me.
Left
Hmm.
that, whatever. And this, it shaped me.
that.
You see me? And a lot of people, few people who actually know me would have known because there was times when I'd even be out and somebody would just see me and be like, yo, you alright? Like,
The aura, the energy
you're
change.
good? Like, my whole energy, everything was off. And the thing about it is, I love music and I use music as an escape. But music also reminds me of people. And so it reminds me of a certain time, a certain place, a certain
Memories.
whatever. The
Trigger your-
memories.
Yeah.
And so me in a party good and one song play, I'm just like, shit.
Need
Here
to
we
be
go.
need to be away from me. Mid wine,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't do this. We can't do this.
So when I went abroad, because I was also dealing with a death in the same time. You get me? And I found that I never got over that because funny enough, because of my relationship ending, I never cried. But when my uncle died, yo, my ball like randomly. I'm not talking about even after the funeral and all that. Like I be driving in the car and he used to love all this music and
Just
then thing, and a
bust.
certain song play. I'm gonna start ball and I say, no man, I have to take some time and process this. I have to take some time and go through this. And I really dig into therapy. Let's drink. I really dig into it to the point where as when I had my sessions, I would go and be like, yo, you ever see this article yet? Yo, you ever see this yet? And he was like, yo, like
You were actually involved.
I actually like submerge myself in it. So
You haven't taken your drink yet.
who?
You haven't taken your drink yet.
For what?
Oh, we
I
saw
said
that.
therapy again.
There we go. Lauren,
And he
you
make me
are
say it again.
Every time you said therapy, cheers, I would drink. Mhm.
So I just going to say have a conversation with that man. But so that was, to be honest, that was a huge part of it. Like me look pan that man there, I'ma say to him, I say, yo, you don't even understand how much you've helped me, like overall. And the other day he was like, well, what do I do now? Because I really do this for relationships. And I say, well, no, you have
A patient.
somebody else. You have
Yeah.
a patient. Because there's no way I'm going to stop doing this now. And you're not going to send it to nobody else because I'm already comfortable with you.
This
So
is
I
where we
don't,
at.
I say, I don't care if I pay you every week just to listen to me talk. And when the done, you give me your advice and we move on. But good. If you want to be my sounding board, I'm good with that.
Mhm.
But out here, a lot of people refuse to get that kind of help.
You know, I think, yeah, there's a traditional thing of, oh, man, the therapy. That exists in some people. But I think the reason why some people don't want to go to therapy is they're afraid what they're going to find out. Because once you open a door, breeze have to come through.
Yo.
I think some people are okay with the breeze hitting the door. Well, you know, it's out there. But if you hear it say, oh, you know, the reason why you're like this is because of this. And then guess what? The rabbit hole start.
And to be honest, it also helps you to take more responsibility for your role and accountability, because at one point I was in the state of a fear of fault and she did this and a part of it was me having to say, all right then Lyndon, but how did you contribute to the downfall of this union? What were the things that you did or you could have done that would have bettered this union?
Yep.
I'm not saying that even if I did those things, it would have worked or it could have worked, but I also have to take some responsibility, because the crazy part is when it was good, we both wanted credit. So why is it that when it's going bad, we only point the finger at one person?
Well, I'm actually impressed that you got to the point where you could say, yeah, you know, I did something. Because some people don't get there. And for me, when you're after a breakup, one of the questions you should ask yourself is, what did I miss?
Right?
Because I don't believe any breakup comes out of the blue. I think there are always signs somewhere, some breadcrumbs that you choose to ignore. That's on you. But I'm assuming you're going to want to find out what went wrong so it doesn't happen again.
Again. And also, that was a major part for me is that I always said that I want it to be better and not bitter. In the sense that if I ever get to the point again where I want a relationship, it should be a case where the things that were wrong with me, I'm going to fix those things, but I am not going to treat you any less than I treated the person before. And it's crazy because that man there, when I was talking to him, he asked me, he was like, yo, what is your biggest fear? And I told him, I said, yo, my biggest fear was that if I do meet somebody who deserves this treatment, I wouldn't treat them that way, or I wouldn't be able to offer myself in that capacity, all because of me being bitter or me being hurt. Because, of course, it was hurtful. It was fucking hurtful. Like, I lose weight whenever they eat, lock up in my apartment. Like, I go through it. You get what I say? But it's a part of the process, and I had to see it.
You have to let it happen.
I have to let it.
I mean, and don't think of how we're saying this to suggest that we're thinking it's a easy fix. No, this is hard. This shit is hard. So let the process happen. Grief doesn't go away if you fight it. You have to let it wash over you, beat you up a little bit until you either get stronger or your foot get firmer. One of the two. But sometimes we try to avoid the hurtful part by, as I said, going to another relationship, turning to substances, turning to, let me become a workaholic because at least I'll be distracted by work. The problem is that all you're doing, the grief is still sitting on there waiting on you.
And it's going to lick you one day.
The most difficult times after my separation, the most difficult times for me was that moment just before I fell asleep. Because for X amount of time you were experiencing this. When it's not there anymore, or you're never drunk enough, so you're not drunk enough to just pass out.
Pass out.
When it's when this turn on, it load, and you go through every possible scenario, and then you start beating yourself up, saying, oh, maybe I wasn't this, or maybe I wasn't that. Or on the flip side, you know what, they weren't this and they were that. It's all their fault. Nobody wants to take blame. Because let's face it, nobody wants to be the villain in their own story. So they will always find a way to justify their thoughts as to, well, it was my fault because X, Y, Z. We all have some role to play.
But so that is also a huge part in it is when you can't acknowledge your shortcomings. Because, as I say, when things are going good, both parties want to take credit.
You want to pat on the back.
But as soon as things go bad is, oh, that person this, that person that person this. And the man say like, at the end of the day, you have to learn to give grace. Give yourself grace.
Boom.
Give the other person grace. Because in real life, the other person probably is going to do some hurtful things. They might do things to get back at you. They might do it still doesn't make the person a bad person. They made some bad decisions. They probably did some things where you would think is unbecoming of them, but it doesn't make the person a bad person. It also doesn't take away from the good that this person added to your life. There's no way you're in a relationship with somebody for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, and when it ends, there's nothing good you can say about them. So you was this one big yammed, one big idiot, to sit down in one relationship that you had no benefits out of for all of this time.
Nothing was said before everything went bad, but no,
all of a sudden is, oh, this person is a piece of shit. This person, and it's like, and for the time I don't understand how last week this was the person, the man of your dreams, the person that you always wanted, the woman who will make you see life differently, and then as soon as you and her left, a dirty girl. What? How comes?
And all right, in all fairness, we're not gonna be the all police. There are some people that are like that. Not everybody's like that. So we're gonna get general sometimes.
But that's why we are talking about. But we are specifically talking to the persons who do that.
Who do this? Yeah. So
if we're talking to the persons who do that, it's all of them.
If it doesn't apply,
if you don't do it, it don't apply. You get what I say?
But the animosity that builds up can be controlled. But again, it's situational, because if you were cheated on heavily, or if the person physically abused you, you're gonna have a problem. You're not going to talk about the niceties of that person. So everybody's situation is different. We understand. But you have to recognize, where were you in all of this? And I'm not trying to blame the person, the quote-unquote victim. Not trying to blame them, but
First of all, in relationships, Noran, for most of the parts, I think a lot of the times, or some of the times, we use the word victim very loosely. If we're talking about a man beating you up or a woman beating you up and all of that, fine, I have nothing to say. Like you being sexually assaulted, stuff like that, I have nothing to say. But when it comes to other things, relationship wise, a lot of times I do think there is a victim in the sense that most of the time I feel like both parties played a part. If there is an argument and let's say me and you are argue and me look and say, yo, I want to leave because my sister, your tone is now higher. You're now getting confrontational. I don't do this. I want to leave. Right? Say you were the woman and you drape me up. And when you drape me up, me drape your back up. Most of the time people are going to look and say, well, you was a man, you know.
you're not
So
supposed
yeah,
to do
she
that.
drape you up. So if you take the drape up, she's a victim. No, she's not. At the end of the day, I don't believe in a man putting his hands on a woman. I don't believe in a woman putting her hands on a man.
Keep your hands to yourself.
If you
Unless
put
it's
your
self-defense,
if you put your hand on me, me have all right to defend myself. Is nowadays me can kind of hold certain things because back in the day my head was boiling, and I can tell you, so the first time you box me, me box you right back, and it would have never happened again. And I have seen cases now where I've been in situations when I get all drip, like me a little boy, I'ma turn, I'ma walk away. Me get all box, like me a little boy, I'ma turn, I'ma walk away. And funny enough, the person who did those things turn around and say, me abuse them. And I was like, what?
So in that relationship now,
Uh,
why did you, or was at the end of it, or did you stay after?
to be honest, after the first time, I ended up staying. The first time it happened, we were having like we're having a disagreement, and we weren't even like shouting or so. But apparently I said something that did really hot.
The tone, yeah.
And but just get a blah blah. A double box.
Jesus.
And it's like, one, I was so shocked. It's like me a replay it in my head and me I say,
Never does happen.
no, me I say then I box it again. I just box me 2 times. That I box. But I was able to keep my composure and I say, like, yo, what you just do? And the person said to me, them say, yo, honestly, like, I don't know what happened.
They just reacted.
I just know. They literally said, I got mad and I just saw red and I don't know what happened after that. And they were very apologetic and they cried. And looking at it now, I'm like, Linda, they watch so much crime documentary and snapped and all of this. Like, this is basic manipulation, my boy. Like,
The thing you said, did you say it to get a reaction? If you
no,
can remember.
no, wait.
Just dialogue, just talk.
Yeah, as I said, it wasn't even the first time it happened. It wasn't even like it was a heated, like mad discussion. So it catch me off guard.
So after that relationship ended, how did you then get over it? Or is that the box just cemented any feelings you might have had? You're gone.
As I said, I never left after that initial
When you
box.
did, when you decided to leave.
When I decided to leave, it wasn't even about the box. It was just that this person is not somebody that I can be with. I feel like, say, in a relationship, you see, anytime you're unhappy and more miserable than you are happy, it's time to go. If every day you get up, you're miserable, you're unhappy, you want to out, like the only way you're gonna get out is if you decide to choose yourself. And a lot of times I feel like say people look on it like, oh, you're giving up on me. You're really not giving up on the person. You're giving up on this situation. Like I can still be a good friend, I can still help you, I can still whatever, but this is not conducive to my mental health and my happiness and my peace. So I have to leave the situation. And I feel like a lot of the times it can be a case where you even take a break from the situation. And if it is that it come back, I just say it happens.
I know, it happens.
It happens.
It's the break principle to me.
Me not take no break. Me I left.
Break to me, and it's not always the case, but break to me suggests I need time away to convince myself I actually still want to be with you. And maybe it's too black and white, but
But it works for
if you
some
want
people.
to be with somebody, you'll be with them.
No, it works for some people.
It's so.
Sometimes them always say, "Absence make the heart grow fonder."
I fully
So
believe
some of
it.
the time, if I take with myself, if you not upright, I may I say, all right then, because you not upright, me probably not do everything, and I'm not feeling like myself. And I say, all right then, I will just take with myself. And if me take with myself, and then you see where your life is lacking, where I would play a part, like a major void is now in your life, you might actually make an effort to be like, yo,
So you're trying to force a change through absence?
I don't think it's force a change. As I say, when me left, me left. When I get to the point of telling you that I am done, best believe the people invested, which for me is my people's family, at the point, the therapist. Yeah, I'll take a drink to that. I gotta refill my cup. But at the point, the therapist, all that, they already knew.
Mm-hmm.
You might be the last person to find
right.
out. I am very impulsive in life, except when it comes to relationships.
I'm glad you said what you just said because I remember distinctly. Around about the time of my separation, went to some bar and there was a old man there, older man, and he said, when your partner comes to you and say they're leaving, they left you about a year ago, or they left you a couple months ago. You're just finding out now because I'm just telling you now.
For me is months, because pretty much I go talk to the invested parties, spoke to that guy, and I was like, yo, I just don't think I can do this anymore. Like I honestly cannot. I feel like I've tried everything, I've exhausted everything, it's just not working. And so the thing about it is when it happens, it might be a surprise to you, but it's not a surprise to a lot of people that's invested. Now my circle is very small.
If the person you're with versus the people around you, if the person you're with doesn't know, or are you communicating how you felt? Really untrue. It's one thing if you're communicating it and they're interpreting it how they liked it. But if it's a complete surprise to the person, it suggests that, okay, if your friend know, the man they know, how come she don't know?
I don't think it's a complete surprise, no. And most of the time, when somebody check out of a relationship, if you're paying attention, you know that they check out.
100%.
You don't know if them check out if you're not paying attention. Because if every day I used to wake up and cook you breakfast, check on you throughout the day, make sure say whatever is paid, make sure you're good right through, and then all of a sudden you're waking up and I'm still in bed. Oh, babes are getting up. Yeah, man, go on to work. Throughout the day, you don't get a message. End of the day, start come home late. Start this, start. There are changes. There are signs.
All right. In your situation, what advice would you give to the other person about getting over this break?
Right now, to be honest, um, get the help.
Don't you have to know that you want help to get help?
Well, no say you want help. Get the help. Um, because it's crazy. Noran, me and you are friend, and from ever since, I've never had anything bad for say. If you want to talk the truth,
Okay.
I've always been like, yo, wish whoever the best. I mean, and even Marian, right? I've always been like, yo, wish you the best, do what you have to do, whatever. So for me, I went through my process and I am over it. I'm not bitter. I'm not sorry that I went through the process of the whole thing. I'm not sorry about nothing at all. Because at the end of the day, it made me the person that I am today. I can say I feel a way about a lot of things that went down and a lot of things that were said and a lot of things that you tried to put in the world, which I feel like was not fair or was not truthful. But apart from that, that's just a hurt person trying to hurt someone.
Did you ever have any hurt? Did you ever? You
I
think you
was,
ever
I
like
was,
publicly lashed out hurt wise?
um, once I can say definitely. I know of one occasion. And mind you, I have to speak very vaguely,
Yes.
or
Vaguely.
my phone is very much gonna ring.
Vaguely. Vaguely.
Very vaguely. But once, yeah, I saw something in public that I thought with me and the person we were just getting out of a relationship. At the time, I was still trying to keep things very respectful. And because a lot of people know me on social media and all that, and I never came out and said, boy, this, whatever. And so there were times when I've had exes who were just a breakup, and I'll go to an event, pay go in the event, and I see them at the event, and I leave to avoid that.
That's what we call the dealing with the hurt.
Right. So I it wasn't even dealing my hurt. It was more of, all right, this person is here. Let's say 50 people in here said no, say me and this person together. They don't know that we are no longer together. So how it look now for me coming with somebody else, or probably a dance for me, all over me, all of this, all of that. I thought about all of that. You understand? And so I was like, yo, I still I try to be respectful or whatever. A situation happened, and the night when I saw it, like my brain just flipped. And to be honest, I really do feel like it was a on purpose thing to get that reaction out of me. But I think they got a different reaction than what they were expecting.
What should somebody do if they find themselves in a situation where that situation you had where you see it, you're thinking about everything that could happen, and you're like, as you said, you left.
The best
What
thing
else
is,
could somebody do?
what else could somebody do? Um, if the person is a reasonable person, where it is a case where you can go and draw them aside and be like, yo, it's always communication. To have a conversation is always great. But a lot of the times in a breakup, most of the time, one person is okay with the breakup and one person is not okay with the
Well,
breakup.
usually the person who initiated the problem is okay with it.
Is okay with it.
And not okay with it at the same time in some instances.
In some instances, you get what I say? But like some of the enough of the time is walk away. And it has a lot to do with the people that you have around you. Luckily, during the when I was going through my process, brother, I cut a lot of people. Because you had people constantly sending me things that would trigger me. Constantly sending me things like I would be the happiest man today. You send me something I just fuck up my whole day. You fuck up my day.
And it's them trying to be
And this
encouraging.
is them trying to be like, it's not even encouraging. This is them trying to be fucking messy. This is you trying to be like, oh, I see this person here, so
Oh, that way. Oh, I'm thinking you said like memes of positivity.
Nah,
You're talking about
like
evidence.
messy as shit. And I'm like, bro, like, what is the point of this? Like, you know, send me and this person left. The whole purpose of me leaving is for me to live my life and them to live their life.
So doing this.
Why are you now going to send me this? And so you find that during the process, a lot of people got cut. Who end up staying in my circle is the people that I used to be like, yo, drown out the noise. Lyndon, leave it alone. Lyndon, you're smarter than this.
Or just Lyndon, you're good?
Yeah. Or if Lyndon, don't give them the reaction that they want. Lyndon, you get what I say?
I do. One of the ways, the original topic is how to get over or deal with a breakup / divorce or relationship. One of the ways also, do not start searching down the person's social media. Don't become a sleuth. Don't start. I mean, no. Some people block just so them don't see it at all. I think while I can understand why that might make you feel good.
I block everything.
Overall,
brother,
if you have to get to the point where you completely block other person, I just don't think it should reach to that. But everybody different.
No, I block everything. You know why? Because a lot of the times, you have to remember, say, just like how you say the person who initiate the breakup is usually okay with it. the person who is on the end of getting broken up with is gonna post shit for
Your
whatever
attention.
I don't want to see.
Okay.
Matter,
You don't want to see, but on the flip side, don't go looking. And
brother, it's
I've
not
done it.
gonna
I
looking.
understand the
You have to
desire to
remember this.
check the
Remember
page.
this. Right now, we live in an age of social media. Social media is fucked up. Instagram have this. Facebook and Google Photos have this thing where it's like,
Memories.
we want you to remember this. Nigga, I don't want to remember this. You can be having a fabulous day and
Do
then
you
come with
remember when?
I don't know. I don't want. You get what I say? So the best way to do it, I block everything.
Block everything.
I block everything. Delete the number, block and the worst part,
What
the best part, I don't know the number out of my head.
But then, if in a situation where it might be a marriage or a partnership, common law partnership, whatever the case may be, where your lives are intertwined, you can't block. How do you deal with the breakup if you're still living in the same house with the person?
That's what I said. I will never be able to do that. I'm getting out. No, Ran. One thing a lot of people don't understand about me. Anything material, I put zero value at.
Walk away from it.
If it's material, if it's a car, if it's a house, if it's land, may walk away from it. Because I am of the thing that, one, I came from nothing. Nobody never helped me. I never have no rich uncle, no rich auntie, no. Every single thing I have, I may work for, I may gain it. And for some reason, I have the mentality that if I did it before, I can do it again. Maybe walk well if anything. I prefer sleep on the roadside than to have to deal with somebody and constantly in this place where you're holding on to all of this because of something. Maybe walk well if anything, any amount of money, any property, and I walk away.
Some people can't physically,
they
financially, mentally can't.
They can't.
Worse, if there's a child involved, and
then
you don't
it's
want
different.
to. So I want to talk about when you have a breakup like this and there's a child involved. My advice would always be, as much as possible, respect the person. Even if you can't stand the person for what they did, show the respect, especially in front of that child.
Give grace. That's what I said earlier.
It's more,
give
yes,
grace.
you give grace, but I want to drill it down even further to say you have to show respect. Kids aren't stupid.
But it's not.
They can know that, okay, mom and daddy don't like each other.
It's not only that. It's the fact where people have a child together and them kick off or them left, and the first thing is, oh, may I go try and tell the child bad things about the other parent, or I'm going to keep the child from the other parent. Like
that's human nature for you.
But it's fucked up. And it fucks up the child.
Especially if you think the child doesn't know.
No,
or if the child says something that when they parrot something that one parent said to the other, and see that other parent get vexed and child's like, oh, did I say something I should have? I think I just upset mommy, or I think I just upset daddy. So please, respect is so important. And I know sometimes it's hard, especially if it's a situation where you may have been violated by another person. Show the respect. If it's even just bite your lip. Because what people sometimes want to do is they want to get angry because getting angry sometimes make you feel better. Understand this. When the person breaks up with you, the likelihood of you getting an answer that makes sense to you or makes you feel any better is minimal at best. True or false?
True.
You're not going to hear what you want to hear. If the person says, why did you leave me? You're not going to feel better when they tell you. But we have that make it make sense thing inside us where somebody breaks up with us, we need to find out why. Sometimes they broke up.
But you know, sir,
keep it moving.
Crazy enough, usually in my grown stage, if I was supposed to break up with somebody, usually at some point, if you want to have a conversation on why it didn't work or what it really was, I don't have a problem having that conversation. I've had that conversation many times because if I'm out of the situation right now, I don't even need to lie to you. I don't need to hide anything. We're already separated. We're already gone. We can talk the truth. Enough of the time, they will say two people break up and one person might be doing the most and have the most to say and the other person is quiet. Enough of the time, they don't even understand so the other person quiet to save that person the same way. Because if you talk,
you're not going to come off well.
If I should talk, you're in the trash. May ruin your life. Because they're not Nora, with me, as I say, I leave you mentally and emotionally before I leave you physically.
Okay.
You see, in the time that I'm leaving, anybody will tell you that know me. I always say this: I don't trust people, and I expect the worst from people. And so you see, in the time of everything, I gather evidence. I gather things. Then you will sit down on a course, I'm gonna just press record from my screen recorder. And it's a record. And you do the most. You're showing the true colors. When it's done, I press end.
So that's for the purpose of you having something over there?
No. It is for the purpose of me of when you're in your bitter stage and you feel like you can lie and you can do this and I can say, hey, this is what really happened.
The receipts.
Brother, I have a whole hard drive.
What the hell?
A whole hard drive. A whole hard drive.
Hard drive, regardless. I want somebody who's probably listening or watching, or probably thinking, I just don't feel like I was treated fairly in this breakup. Remember, you and I spoke on it on the radio where the person say, okay, I'm gone, and you're left going, but what about me? I don't know what's going on. You're just telling me this now. If somebody finds himself at the point of somebody just look at them saying, yeah, I'm out, I'm done. Do you beg to stay? Do you beg to talk? Is the talking going to make a difference? What do you do? Because I don't think once somebody has made up their mind, it's very difficult for you to change it.
But also, I don't think it's something that you can do in the moment. It's something where both of you have to take the time to process, go through, like, it cannot be done in the moment. Because, as we say, the person who is breaking up with you is probably going to be in a completely different state of mind than the person that just got broken up with. And so, it's not a conducive relationship at that point.
It's not the best time to talk. No.
It's not the best time to talk about it. But if down the line, we can look and say, all right, like, what did really go on? Fine. Because to be honest, I am great friends with most of my exes.
But would you say that was a different Lyndon as opposed to Lyndon now?
Even when I was the horrible Lyndon, when I was the hothead Lyndon, the no nonsense Lyndon, I still ended up friends with my exes. But also, I'm at the point now where I am absolutely fine not speaking to whoever don't want to speak to me no more.
You don't.
If you want to go and like say, oh, I was the most horrible person, all that, it's okay. I'm at the point now where I'm at peace. I will keep your secrets. I will keep your secrets. You can maintain the image that you have or that you think you have, and you're all of
you're
this and all of that. You're Miss Goody Two Shoe. I'll keep it. Because for me, I can be the bad guy. I don't work for nobody.
You're okay being the bad guy.
I don't owe nobody. I don't know. So somebody look at me and say, oh, Lyndon is shit. What the fuck does your opinion change my life? What does your opinion add value to my life? Absolutely none.
When my daughter was young, she had this Barbie cartoon she used to watch constantly. And there was a line in it that actually I apply as much as possible. It says, what people think of you is none of your concern.
None of my business.
So I want to talk to the men who are listening, because grown men talk. Focus on the men for a second. If as a man you find yourself in a situation where you are broken up with, this is somebody you've made the love of your life, and they break up with you, what advice do you give to the guy who is basically Tasmanian devil in a small space, in just going? Yeah. What advice do you have for him?
One, the one of the biggest advice I can give is analyze the people around you.
People around you.
Hold on
The
now.
second time you
Yes. In terms of your close friends. Like how I would come to you and sit down and talk to you. You can look at me and say, Lyndon, it's fuck you doing. It's fuck you're saying, got your fucking yard.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
A lot of people don't have that.
True.
Them have a bag of yes people around them. So when them go and them do certain things, and they are supported. And they feel like when you get enough support on something, you feel like you're right. That is a major part. A lot of people will be around you for the drama, for all the stupid wild shit. Cut that. because it will also make your life more peaceful. If you're trying to live a peaceful life and nobody's coming to you with that drama constantly and bringing it in your face, it puts you in a better place. You understand?
Mhm.
That is one. Two, as I said, like I can't stress this enough. Give grace. Like enough of the time, we have to
Take time with yourself.
take
As well
time
as
with
other
yourself.
person.
Take time with the other person. We have to be able to look and say, yo, you know, say, boy, but they give her about 100 times. She get tired of the bun and she left. What you vex
Or
about?
she burn your back.
Or she bun your back. First of all, bun never kill nobody yet. Me yet for see the person what them can say just cause them get bun, them dead.
I think there are some of those situations, but we're
No,
not talking
them
about staying or
situation
shit.
is somebody kill them.
Okay,
Another bun kill them.
it's a precursor.
It's not the bun kill them.
True.
I can give you a gun. Unless you pull the trigger, it cannot kill
A
someone.
paperweight. I get you.
Bun itself never kill nobody yet.
I
So
I learned this when I was going through my separation. What I did really recognize is that every insecurity you have is put on nitrous oxide if you are the person that got dumped. Every single thing you've ever thought might be bad about yourself, gasoline and fire. Once you get dumped, because you start thinking, yo, you know what? It's because of this why they left. It's because of that why they left. And my advice to people would be, as best you can, you need to try and learn how to quiet that noise because it's really loud. And not only really loud, it can form in some instances the crust around you when you go into another relationship. Because now you're taking out what you wanted to say to your ex that left you on the new person. And it's not their fault.
which is why I say you have to take the time. You have to go through the process. And right now, I can look and honestly say everybody that has crossed paths with me since, I've looked at them and I've said, yo, if you want a relationship, I don't have it in me right now. If it's a case where you wanna have fun and you want somebody that you can still have some companionship with and you wanna go out and only for pay a bill or two, which apart when we can afford it, that is fine. But if you want a whole relationship, I don't have it in me. And so me I tell you straightforward so you know exactly what you're doing.
Mhm.
And funny enough, is a lot of people out there feel the same
Same.
way.
But I'm gonna stop that, and I'm gonna talk to the men because I've been guilty of this too.
Mhm.
You say I don't have it in me to give you what I want, but then sometimes you're still doing stuff that make them feel like you're looking them because you are doing look them stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Listen,
Mhm.
my sister tell me
I'll
all,
take the rap on the knuckles.
yo, my sister tell me all the while, it's your fault.
It's your fault. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? She said,
Yeah.
you're the nicest drunker I know. My sister continually tells me, you are the nicest drunker I know. So I will literally look at you and say, yo, this is what it is. And if you say, all right, I'm going to mess with you same way, I'm going to still have a carrier for dinner. For your
Yeah.
birth, you know, I
Oh,
still going to do
God.
all the
Yeah.
nice shit.
Yeah. Because you know what? We're saying, I'm doing this to be nice, but really and truly, if we really break it down, you're doing X and we would always as men complain to woman say X and do Y. We do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want there with
options.
you, but I'm still boyfriend.
I'm
with
going to
you.
treat you that way.
And to us, it's simply I'm just treating you nicely. But we have realized that maybe they're not accustomed to
No, but
that
here on
version
this
of
at the
nice.
same time, I'm not gonna take all of the fault for that. The man them out on a step on the shit out.
No, you
Step
hold on,
on the
stop.
game
No,
out.
hold on. 1% of fault and 89% of fault is still fault.
Yeah, I'll take a
Don't
little
try
fault.
sweet it up.
So
Fact is, we will. But I will take the lip. I will take the rap on my knuckles because I am guilty of that myself. And I
but
try to
then
justify by saying, "Oh, I'm just being nice." Yeah, but it fuck people up.
yeah, but then you
Look.
can't just treat people like a drunk.
There's a whole heap of space between drunk and nice guy.
I don't know. I don't know
You
the
don't operate
space.
in that zone. You
I
don't
don't,
operate in that
I
zone.
don't know. I have the superhuman complex. I feel like I can save everybody. That's the first thing. I feel like I can save everybody. You get me? So
So
if
when we as men, if we're broken up with, don't fry the other person in the ex-girlfriend fat.
I don't. And there has been times where I've seen that I've gotten short with people because they remind me of something from that person.
You got triggered.
And it triggers me. You understand? And the fact that it trigger me is like, yo, you can go. I'm at the point now where you can go. It's fine. And it's not fair to the person.
No, it's
It
not.
really isn't.
It's shitty. It's a shitty thing to do.
But also, it's different if I look at you and I tell you that this is what I'm coming out of and this is what I was dealing with.
And I mean,
And then you still do the shit that I just came out of, then there is some kind of like the fuck.
As you said, the biggest thing is take the time. And we're humans, we're animals, we're upright animals as far as I'm concerned. So there are gonna become times when you're doing your time and you're healing, but you wanna have some fun. You wanna scratch an itch or two.
Yep.
You have to do it in moderation.
Dog, to be honest, right now, Noran, I feel like, as I said, I am pretty straightforward. I've always been straightforward. And especially now, if I know you're coming with a certain intention. Like, for instance, last night, somebody sliding on my DM. And they were like, oh, Lyndon, I've been shooting a shot. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, and she made reference to something that she said. And I was like, but I said, why are you shooting a shot though? For what? Is it that you want to fuck? Or is it that you want to date? Why are you shooting me a shot? She's like, oh, I want to date. I said, I don't have that in me right now. I said,
I'm not in date mode.
I don't want to be responsible for anybody's happiness. I don't want to be responsible for anybody. No, I don't want to feel like, say, when me no message you tomorrow, something wrong, and this, I say, I'm not in that place. I can say straight, I am not in that place.
I've said the same.
You understand? But at the same time, if I look and I say, yo, come in the village, if you're in my village, I can make sure say you're good. And a lot of the times, because you're making sure that this person is all right, whether it's checking up on them, whether it's them have a problem and you constantly assist or whatever, in their brain it flips. But a lot of the time, people don't come back to the conversation.
No, they go off of what felt good at the time.
So you said this, but you're doing this. What does it mean? Because I'm gonna tell you, it means what I said.
I interpreted it this way.
Nah, what I say is what I mean. What you understand
is different.
You have shit to do with me. And brother, is such a fucked up line to draw or to even walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the times we might even get it twisted, because a lot of the times I'm like, yo, why am I doing this? But I know it's the right thing to do.
Or in terms of not doing something.
Yeah.
You say, why am I not
brother,
taking full advantage of it?
Since week, I have a sister of mine, and she was like, yo, she having a really horrible day. She don't want to be at work. She just feel like fuck off with everything. Da, 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 da. I ordered a bouquet and sent to work. And literally all it said was, chill the fuck out, life ain't that serious.
Junker.
But the fuck up thing is, no one has ever done that for her. And so for her, it means something completely different from what me, I just wanted you to feel better in that moment. But for she, it's like, yo, no man never do this yet. Fellas, first of all, if we not give no man flowers, all when you don't know for nothing at all, send it to our
it's
office.
Wednesday. There's a comment here that says it's called establishing boundaries and ensuring clarity. That is very good advice. What's difficult for some people is not saying it is an easy part. Sticking to it is a hard part. Because sometimes when things start feeling good, all these boundaries get a little blurry. Yeah, we shouldn't be doing this because I'm still in that, well, yeah, it feels good, so guess what? It's going to continue. Some people have a ride it till the wheels fall off mentality. That's it feels good, but when it crash, it crash.
Nah, I can't ride it till the wheels
fall off. When you are in a breakup, don't monkey branch. Don't just go from what feels good to what feels good to what feels good. No, whether you're going backward to somebody who you have a comfortable with or you just want a new experience, don't do
Hold on, before we finish this, let me address something. So, The video that went viral on our Instagram was where the young lady said that she slept with the best friend to get back at her ex. And it garnished a lot of comments and a lot of narrative, right? Now, we have to understand, we have two different men and two different mentality. For instance, for me, if I have an ex and she decides she go sleep with Noran, first of all, I'm making Noran the cheat code. I'm gonna be like Noran, XX up YZ. That's how you get it.
Contract.
And after that, we're gonna sit and be like, yo, my nigga, you good? Have a drink, cheers, da 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 da. Yeah, my next man was a man. So you doing that to get back at someone depends on the person.
Yes, it does.
Because you might do it at me and me turn and laugh after you like, look at this fool. Because for me, what it means is I still have that much control over you that you decided to go and sleep around in my circle.
I have rent-free space in your head.
Exactly. So you see, if it's a case where you didn't want to fuck this person, you go fuck them because you wanted to have sex with them, fine, no problem. But if you went and did it just because you said, "Oh, I'm going to get back at Linda,"
you lost it. Well, to me, you lost it, not me.
No,
you lost. I didn't
bro,
lose anything.
I have an ex that knows where I live. Mind you, in my complex, there are probably 35 buildings, and they end up messing with someone that live on my block. And this is supposed to be a coincidence. So I'm going to the gym one day and I open the door and I let them in. And I go about my business.
Because you didn't let the emotion.
Brother, there was no emotion at that time. So you're still in that brain where you're like, oh, this is going to fuck Linda up. No, it's not.
Before we wrap up, how do you advise somebody to not fall into the anger, the rage of a breakup? And it's for male and female.
It's hard. It's hard. And to be honest, Noran, I think anger and rage is a part of your process.
It is.
Just like death.
It is.
So you go, it's different phases. So you go through the part where you have the grief, you have the can't believe, you can't believe this done, you can't believe the person gone, you can't believe whatever. You go through the part of, oh, I miss you so much. You go through the part of, oh, what's the other one? You go through the part where it's like coulda, woulda, shoulda. You go through the part where you start accepting it, and you go through the part where I'm over it. I go through the whole of them. Listen, Sonia. Listen.
Do not
Sonia.
do not engage. She's the director. Director lady.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
You want 3 minutes from both of us at the same time?
No, it's 3 minutes and the show
Stop it.
wraps.
Okay, I got you. I should never specify.
So, all right. Recap. How to get over a breakup. Let's do the cliff notes. Fact is,
Cliff notes.
go through the grief. Don't try to hide from it. Don't try to fight it. It will find you.
Second of all, professional help. It works. Therapy, if you have a good therapist, it works. What else? Grace.
For both yourself
For both yourself
and the person.
Give grace. And just because somebody do something that you consider was bad does not make them a bad person.
I agree.
Also, stop focusing on the negative shit. I feel like that is a big part. Like a lot of times when people break up, all them focus on is the negative things.
Because that is
there had to be
they can control.
No, but
in the absence of the person, them can control.
There had to be positive times. There had to be good times. Like nowadays, when Facebook come up and remind me of certain things, I actually smile. I'm like, yo, this was a nice weekend. We had a wonderful time. Like, bro, be better and not bitter. Because a lot of the times when you're out here being bitter and you alone bitter, I'm over here sweet like sugar.
Which makes the bitterness even more. But like, I can understand somebody feeling that they didn't get the return on the investment they made. Hence, the rotating anger. I get it.
Hold on, but Sonia, what's We're going to wrap it up. Hold on. We're
Back.
still like
Back, so you're back.
Instagram sitting can done. You listen.
Yeah.
Hold on. Noran, to be honest, if we're talking about an investment, it's two times a investment really. You have the emotional investment and you have monetary investment. Most of the time, in terms of the monetary investment, we as men lose. We can take a drink to that. We as men lose.
Not everybody, but it has happened. It happens.
Well, if you're well, this is probably an episode we need to have. If you're a man, you're a provider. You make sure your peoples are good. You see me? We're not doing the 50-50 shit.
I'm doing my thing.
You lose. Especially when, in my case, I'm willing to walk away from anything. Materialistic, money-wise. I lose monetarily in relationships. I lose.
So then, how do I, if I'm a man who I feel like I've lost, what do I do when I'm now in the midst of a breakup and I feel like I've lost financially? What do you say to that guy?
What do you do?
What do you say to him?
Do what I'm doing. Kill them with success. Do what I'm doing. Like, for this year, the plan that I have this year, in all the businesses that I plan to start, with all the ventures I plan to go in, whether you like me or not, when you see me 3-4 years time, as much as you hate me, you're going to proud for look and say, you know, say one time I did my man. Step your shit up.
For you.
For you.
Not for them. For you.
Yo, we're still in January. I started 3 new ventures, bro. And we're still in January.
That's your thing.
I started 3 new ventures. Because, look at it this way. If you are a man that's taking care of somebody monetarily and you left them, basically that's extra money that you now have to do
Invest in yourself.
what you want to do. You feel me? So if you used to spend 300 grand on a woman every month, you now have a free 300 grand that you can better your own life with. So for me, this year I plan to put everything that, all the ideas that I've had to fruition. I plan to bring it to reality. And that is what I have been working on. That is what I have been focused on. That is what I am going to do. So, the man them.
Look on IG and see the comments on there. There's a comment on there.
The comment. Why is it lost though? Did you want to have a relationship where there isn't a financial aspect? Were you not playing a provider role? Actually, that's what that's what I just said. That's why I will walk away from everything. I have never been in a relationship where I ask somebody back for something, or I'm like, oh, I need this back, or you need to give me this back. I don't do that. If I gave it to you, I gave it to you. If I provided it, I provided it. I'm done with it. You feel me? So to answer that question, no. But at the same time, it is an investment. Nobody goes into a relationship thinking this is going to end. Nobody goes in a relationship for it to fail. So if it is that I am saying, okay, you want to go to school or you want to do all of this, right now I'm making this money, I'll pay for all of this. In the end, if it reaches a point where we are together 15 years down the line and you are the one that's making all the money and I'm no longer making all the money, then you are gonna take care of me. That is an investment. So most of the time, whenever you make an investment, you expect some kind of return.
But you also need to remember that there's always risk.
But you don't ever give nothing where you can't afford to lose. So if you can't afford to lose it, don't give it.
Don't give it.
You understand?
I think that's a nice way to. I like that.
If you don't have it to lose, don't give it.
Don't give it. Don't play with the way you can't afford to play with.
Maybe get the shirt off of my back. I know we can buy it back.
Brother, I appreciate this. Episode 1.
Listen,
Men Talk. I like it.
Next Wednesday, we'll have the other one. We're gonna go.
We're working on cameraman
Live every Wednesday. Noran might not be here next week because
Princess time.
Dude gotta fly out and shit. So it might be me and a guest, but
sure,
we're still gonna do it and we're still gonna make it interesting. Thank everyone for tuning in. Like honestly, I don't think you even understand what this means to me. Like this is something what I thought about, I dreamt about, and I actually made it happen. And so for me, if it's one person did sign in, it was a win because
Thank everybody who signed in. Thank you guys very
I
much. We
accomplished
appreciate it.
something that I
All
set
the
out.
comments, we're reading them. And you know what? Maybe afterwards we'll have a recap show and we'll just answer some of the comments that we've seen.
You can do that.
Mm.
Kai, cameraman, big up yourself. I don't want to call her.
Oh, wow, the messages are coming in now. We're gonna have to answer these people.
Yo, people are messaging like crazy now.
Well,
Producer, Sonia,
Producer.
do we answer these messages or we don't?
Okay, thank you. The do so lady.
All right, we get
Okay.
permission.
Somebody asking King Real Steel, at what stage do you say in a relationship enough is enough? It's time to move on and move forward with our lives. In other words, what's the breaking point?
I mean, I think I already answered that in the case
Disrespect
of
is the breaking point.
disrespect is one, and if you're unhappy more than you are happy.
I want to qualify that because unhappy is different for different people. If I don't give you what you want or what you're used to getting, are you unhappy? You're unhappy because you're not getting what you want, but it's not like it's a constant state.
No, that's what I say. If you're unhappy more than you are
More
happy.
than happy.
Because it don't matter what the state is. You know. If me unhappy, I am not being fulfilled by this relationship. So I'm living in a miserable state.
I'm holding back.
So Gabby asked, what is wrong with 50-50?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
To be honest,
Absolutely nothing.
To be honest,
See if I get hot again.
To be honest, 50-50 is absolutely fine. For who can agree to go 50-50 and they're fine, it's okay.
I don't know, 50 doesn't always have to be the same. It's not necessarily 50-50 money. It could be 50
I was just
money,
about to say.
50 I'll do these chores. 50 I'll hold that bill, 50 I'll use my link to get this thing.
I was just about to say 50-50 is not always about money.
No, it's not.
If it is that I am paying all the bills, but I'm coming home to a hot meal every day, the kids are taken care of, the da 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 da. That can also be considered 50-50 because you're making a home. So you making a home is basically me not having to pay someone to do it. But if you want to talk about 50-50 and I am paying all the bills and I'm maintaining your lifestyle and I can't get a home cooked meal, you're not giving me sex. I gotta clean. I gotta use a laundry service. I gotta do all this. How is that 50-50? Like you are literally offering nothing. I'm getting zero returns on my investment.
Kissy Sport 1. It's a breaking point when you start losing your peace of mind and self. I think that's very true. But if you start becoming a chameleon just to stay with a person, no, I think you're at a bad point. Because if you start losing who you are, or if you is completely dependent on how the other person feels at any point in time, that's a problem.
But not only that, a lot of times, people will know somebody for a while, and they go into a relationship with them with the intention to change them. And then they get upset when this person decides that they don't want to change. Or for me, I know what and what about myself I would like to change. So I know that I have some bad qualities. I wouldn't mind changing those. But I have other qualities that I might feel are good qualities or protective qualities that you might look at because you have lived a different life. So for you, it's like me look and say, yo, if you thief $500 from me, I'm done with you. He's a thief. Because you could have asked me for $5,000, I would have given you the $5,000. So the principle of it, me done with you. Meanwhile, the other person might be like, yo, but it's just $5 bills.
It's just $5 bills, yeah,
Nah,
$5,000.
principle. We are two different people.
And, I think we don't spend enough time recognizing, and by recognizing I mean accepting where the other person is coming from. Because just because I understand what you're saying doesn't mean that I need to do what you want. So for example, if you say something and I said to you, yeah, well, I understand what I said, but I just disagree. I'm just not gonna do it. Yeah, but how if you tell me say you understand and you still do the other thing? I said because the mark of an intelligent mind is the ability to understand a point without accepting it.
Do you know why people try to put a percentage of what is brought to the table?
The same 50-50 thing. So it's
same
like
50-50 thing.
No, why do people go, oh, you have to be 50-50? Why are you looking at a percentage? Do what works, making the other person feel like you are actually caring for them to reciprocate. We're good.
I don't know. I feel like for me, I do the whole provider thing And come, take a drink.
Say it with me.
Because
Therapist.
my therapist pretty much looked at me and said, probably is a case because I always wanted somebody to do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've always fended for my own. I've always had to find my own way out. I've always had to figure shit out on my own. And so when I'm with someone and I can offer them that security and that level of comfort, I am going to do whatever I can do to offer it because it's something that I wish I had or I wish I experienced.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
And the fucked up part,
Love has ended. Oh man,
them can, I mean, it can stay ended.
you're good now.
I mean,
You
why
know,
some
you know
more
that we
for-
could talk for like
we're
a
still,
couple
we're
hours.
still on YouTube.
All right. Okay,
Um,
you know we could talk for a couple
the
hours.
thing